gonna start recording the class. Let's share this and let's compartir. Where is the power? Here is the PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, so the World War One and World War Two. So today we're gonna talk only about. Let's focus only on World War One. Okay. It says on one the onset war. La guerra que ya está preparada. Dice, in the summer of 1914, war broke out in Europe. Many nations from around the world soon joined in the fighting. A number of factors led to this global conflict, which became known as the World War One. By the 19th, nationalism, ya hemos hablado sobre el nacionalismo y el colonialismo, had created rivalries throughout Europe. Rivalidades entre Europa. People were willing to go to war to prove superiority on their nations. Imperialism added an Europe province. As you may recall, industrial nations competed fiercely for colonies. Now over here is a picture which shows all the different industrial nations are search for new markets and raw material. Remember, in those days was the industrial revolution, so they were trying to get some material because they need material in order to produce and transform with these materials and convert into a new product. So they needed material resources. So they needed resources. So that's why they went to different places and tried to get those resources. Okay. Now another underlying cause of World War One was the militarism. Why? Because all these countries they were growing their military sector. In the mid-18th, Otto von Bismarck used the powerful Prussia army to unite Germany, and we studied that already. Remember, Germany was the first one who was reunited, and the other one was Italy. Remember, we studied that the previous chapter. The rising nationalism, tense rivalries, and militarism caused European nations to fear each other. They began to make new alliances and protect themselves. Now over here, this is what caused the World War One started. It says, the sparkle for war. Then on June 28th, a Serbian nationalism killed Archduke Francis Ferdinand and heir to Austria-Hungary throne to his wife. Seeking revenge, Austria-Hungary declared war to Serbia. Over here, this is a newspaper from those days when this guy was killed. He got killed. Okay. It says Francis Ferdinand, nephew of Emperor Francis Joseph, killed in Bosnian capital an hour after warning off bomb which injured score. Okay, so this is the beginning. He got killed, and then the whole world he divided into sectors. The Triple Entente was conformed was Great Britain, France, and Russia, and the other alliance was Triple Alliance: Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. So these were the two rivals during those days in Europe for World War One. Okay. Now the Allies' victory. The United States had vowed to stay neutral in the war. Los Estados Unidos no querían meterse en esa guerra. Iban a ser neutrales. That changed when German submarine began to sink ships headed to Britain. Eso ya cambió porque cuando vieron que los alemanes los submarinos alemanes estaban hundiendo a los barcos que iban para Estados Unidos, entonces ahí ya Estados Unidos decidió entonces meterse en ese conflicto. Dice, that changed when the German submarines began to sink ships headed to Britain. Okay, the United States warned Germany not to attack unarmed ships. Germany ignored this warning, angering Americans. The sink of the passenger ship Lusitania, este es un barco muy conocido, Lusitania, caused outrage throughout the United States. ¿Por qué? Porque había barcos que viajaban entre Estados Unidos e Inglaterra y entonces el Lusitania lo hundió un submarino, submarino alemán y ahí entonces Estados Unidos decidió entonces meterse en ese conflicto, ¿ya? Then, American found out about the secret Zimmerman notes, una nota de Zimmerman. ¿De qué se trataba? ¿De qué se trataba? Ya vamos a ver. Sent by the German government to Mexico. In the note, Germany asked Mexico to attack the United States. Le pedían que México atacara a los Estados Unidos. Cuando ellos supieron eso, con mayor razón, dice, vámonos para la guerra, dicen los norteamericanos. ¿Ok? Aquí hay una figura donde habla sobre lo que sucedió, el hundimiento de Lusitania. Dice, German U-boats torpedoed to British-owned steamship Lusitania, killing 1,195 people, including 128 Americans, on May 7, 1915. O sea que un año después que ellos entonces intervienen en los Estados Unidos. The disaster set off a chain of events that led to the United States entering the World War I. The United States joined the Allies in April 1917, 2 años después. Muy bien, the Allies triumph. El triunfo de los aliados. Germany realized that the entry of United States troops would shift the balance of power to the Allies. The Germans decided to act quickly and stage a new attack on France. Germany's allies also suffered serious defeat in 1918. By November, the Central Power had collapsed. The war was finally over. After a year of fighting, an enormous loss of life. Aquí vemos una lista de la cantidad de soldados muertos. En Alemania murieron 1.773.700 personas. Austria-Hungary, otro millón de personas. El Imperio Otomano, 329.000. El total de la fuerza central fue 3 millones. Mientras que los aliados fueron, imagínense, fue peor. 8 millones de los aliados. Los rusos, los franceses, los alemanes y tal. United States solamente bueno, no solamente. De todas maneras murieron 116.500 muertos que le pertenecían a los Estados Unidos. El total fueron 5.142.635. So the total of death during those wars was 8,528,831 dead people. This was only in World War I. Okay. Finally, okay. Now this United States Airlines, okay. Over here, guys, I think I repeat this one. Yes, now, después que ellos ganaron, entonces se firmó un tratado. ¿Se acuerdan cómo se firmó el tratado después de Napoleón Bonaparte? También se firmó un tratado. Bueno, igualmente aquí en la Primera Guerra Mundial se formó el tratado de ¿qué? De Versalles. The Treaty of Versailles. ¿Y en qué consistía? En todas estas cosas, imagínense. Germany could not have air force, nada de fuerza aérea. Limits the German militaries only 100,000 troops, only, nada más. Germany could not mechanize army, could not mechanize army, no podían tener o fabricar máquinas mecánicas. Germany could only have one ship in Navy. Only one. Germany had to repay debts of all allies. Lo mismo que hicieron los franceses, que tuvieron que pagarle a todo el mundo. En reparation, more than Germany could actually pay. Mucho más de lo que ellos podían pagar, dice. Establish a League Nation. La Liga de las Naciones comenzó en aquel entonces una asociación, una organización internacional. La Liga de las Naciones, que después se convierte en la ONU. The creation of Czechoslovakia, Poland and Yugoslavia. Se creó Checoslovaquia, Polonia y Yugoslavia. And Central Power lost all colonies. Ellos perdieron todas sus colonias que habían ellos colonizado. En aquel entonces también se inició una guerra en Rusia. It's the Russian Revolution. Why the revolution occurs in Russia in March 1917? Al mismo tiempo que se estaban dando esas revueltas en la Primera Guerra Mundial. Dice, el Tsar had made some reforms, but too few to ease the nation's tension. Much of the majority peasant population endured stark poverty. Revolutionary work to hatch radical plots. World War I was producing disaster on the battlefield for the Russian army and food and fuel storage of home front. Rasputin influenced domestic affairs, weakened confidence in the government. Now, aquí aparece entonces esta figura muy conocida por todos, que es Vladimir Lenin, un bolchevique. Él pertenecía a un partido llamado los bolcheviques, que eran los comunistas. El bolchevique leader built support among the workers and soldiers, and Lenin created the world's first communist states. Lenin creó el primer estado comunista, que se llama, en aquel entonces se llamaba USSR, the USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. That's the USSR, the Russian Republic. Okay. So, from the, en aquel entonces eran los zares, eran los que gobernaban, y después se convirtió en la Primera Guerra Mundial, en esos años 1917, las revueltas en Rusia, y se convirtió y nació una nueva nación, un nuevo estado, que era la USSR. Bien. World War I, aquí vamos a parar y mañana continuamos con World War I, que comenzó cuando los alemanes, en represalias por el Tratado de Versalles, invaden Polonia. ¿Ya? So, right now, I want to show you a video that talks about how this event started over here. Let's watch this video. World War I began. How? Please take it some time. Why?
Over 17 million people were killed in the First World War, and the impact it had on the old empires and the politics of the world was enormous. But what were the causes of World War I, and how did it start? The immediate cause for World War I was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his pregnant wife Sophie. Archduke Franz Ferdinand was the nephew of Emperor Franz Joseph and heir to the throne of Austria and Hungary. The assassination was planned by a Serbian terrorist group called the Black Hand, and the man who shot Franz Ferdinand was a Bosnian revolutionary named Gavrilo Princip. However, there were many other causes for the start of World War I. Before World War I was triggered, a number of defence alliances existed between the major European countries. What this meant was that if one country declared war on another, then the other countries would also have to enter the conflict because it was in the treaty that they agreed. Britain, France, Ireland and Russia were part of an alliance called the Triple Entente, while Germany aligned itself with Austria-Hungary, known as the Central Powers. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo on 28th of June 1914 triggered a chain of events that resulted in World War I. After the assassination, Austria-Hungary threatened war on Serbia. They set out some very harsh demands that Serbia must meet. Germany sided with Austria-Hungary, while Russia sided with the Serbians. At this point, Europe was at the brink of going to war. 1 month after the Archduke's assassination, on July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia with the backing of Germany. Germany then declared war on Russia on August 1st and on France on August 3rd. On August 4th, 1914, the German troops marched on France, and the route they took went through Belgium. Since Britain had agreed to maintain the neutrality of Belgium, they immediately declared war on Germany. British and German troops first fought at the Battle of Mons in Belgium. This was the first of many battles between Britain and Germany on the Western Front, and is when World War I started for Britain. But this is just the beginning. For more information about what happened when World War started, don't forget.
Okay, now let's watch another. The Treaty of Versailles.
The Treaty of Versailles, 1919. World War I officially came to an end with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles on June 28, 1919. 32 countries had come together in Paris in January 1919 to hold a conference which would make peace after the First World War. It would be dominated by the Big Three: David Lloyd George representing Britain, George Clemenceau representing France, and Woodrow Wilson representing the USA. Germany was not invited. The Big Three wanted different things for Germany and disagreed on how harshly they were to be punished, reflecting how their countries were treated in the war. They had to negotiate with each other until there was a compromise. This was difficult because Wilson was opposed to harsh punishment for Germany. The USA had not been involved in the war as long as Britain and France and had not received as much damage. He wanted to prevent another world war by creating the League of Nations based on his 14 points, to ensure Germany would not be destroyed and that Germany shouldn't be blamed for the war. Clemenceau's aims were the harshest of the three, representing the damage Germany had done to France's land and people and its threatening proximity. He wanted revenge and to punish Germany, to return Alsace-Lorraine to France, an independent Rhineland, no League of Nations, Germany to pay huge reparations for the damage and losses caused, the disbandment of the German army so that Germany would never be strong enough to attack France again. Lloyd George was an in-between. This reflected Britain, which had little land damage but high war losses. He wanted a punishment that would be tough enough to please those who wanted to make Germany pay, but would leave Germany strong enough to still trade. Land for Britain's empire, to safeguard Britain's naval supremacy. When the Treaty of Versailles was ready, Germany was shown the document, but there was no negotiation. Their rebuttal ignored. On 28 June 1919, the delegates met at the Hall of Mirrors in the Palace of Versailles near Paris and forced 2 German representatives to sign it. See Part 2 to learn what the terms of the Treaty of Versailles were and the devastating effects it would have for the future of Germany.
Okay, we don't have time to see the second part, but anyway, what I want to do with you guys is I want you to go and try to enter to the platform. This one over here, I have an activity for you to do it. I want you to click to the first one. It says worldwide. This is a quizzy activity. Quizzy test, World War I. I want you to go to this one and click to this one. Come on, hurry up. I'm gonna prepare the game. Remember we played this game previously, like 2 weeks ago, something like that. So it's the same thing. So I'm gonna provide you the code in order for you to enter this game. So I want you to enter right now. Everyone, please. Everyone enter. Enter. Preparing the quiz test for you guys. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Okay, now over here, I want you to click this code in your platform. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna be here waiting. This is the code. You can see it over there. No, sorry, you cannot see it because you are working. 94 94 07 61 94 07 61 94 07 61. Tenemos 4 estudiantes. Está Ana Torres, Andrea Mía, Banquiet, Liz, Alicia Su. 94 07 61. Bien, bien, vamos rápido, chicos, tenemos tiempo. 940761, 940761, 940761. 40761. ¿Qué pasó, señor Lazo? No lo veo aquí a Lazo. Lazo, ¿por qué no entró? No veo a Lazo por aquí, veo a todo menos a Lazo. Hasta a mí, hasta aquí no. No, Carlos no está aquí.
Profe, ¿puede poner código?
Ah, no puedes. 940761. Ok, vamos a ver, vamos a esperar 5 segundos más. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ok, listo, ya está Sebastián. Vamos con el Sebastián. Pues vamos a comenzar a ver quién gana. Comenzamos, pues. Ese es el jugador, excelente.
Profe,
Yeah.
tuve un problema, no puedo entrar.
Bueno, no hay problema. De todas maneras, mañana tenemos otro de la Segunda Guerra. Este es de la primera, ya. Lástima. ganador aparentemente. Así que nos vemos mañana, pórtense bien. Chao.
Chao, profe.
Bye.